Pigmentation can be so frustrating. We've all been there, trying everything and feeling like nothing works. Today, we get real about what pigmentation is and how to treat it with the dream team, Dr. Maureen Allen and Suzanne from Catrice. Hello, ladies.
No, I
I
love
said
the
girls,
dream
but you're
team.
ladies. So let's talk pigmentation. We've all had it. It's frustrating. What is it actually? What is pigmentation?
So pigmentation is excessive melanin, which is your pigment in the skin, and that is triggered by certain, factors, and we treat it differently. So it's very important when patients come to skin renewal, we have to understand what kind of pigmentation is this, because as I said, we treat it all differently.
And what kind of pigmentations are there?
Okay, so we get those dreaded sunspots, those little H spots, which start, appearing after the age of 40, and that is your pigment cells memorying all the cumulative damage over the years. So we normally see it on sun-exposed areas like your face, your hands, your shoulders, and that is actually, believe it or not, much more easier to treat because we can do light treatments like an IPL, and that just lifts up and destroys all the pigment in the epidermis. Then we get the post-inflammatory pigmentation, which comes from trauma and inflammation. So anything that traumatizes the skin causes inflammation, and then that starts triggering those melanin factories to start making pigment. And that, believe it or not, is also slightly, better to treat because it responds well to IPL, limelight, topical products. And then we get the melasma, which affects so many women in South Africa because we're living in a country with very high UV index. And I don't think people understand exactly how important the foundation of preventing this, which is, sun protection. So whether you're applying SPF, which you have to do, it's non-negotiable every morning, and it has to be a broad spectrum UVA, UVB. Preferably, if you can get iron oxides, that's even better because that reflects the light. You should have a titanium and zinc, so a mineral sunscreen to reflect the light. And then you have to manage this pigmentation.
Suzanne, coverage, should we be expecting more from our foundations? And do they have SPFs in? How do we layer all this SPF? Dr. Maureen's saying,
Yeah.
SPF, but what more is there?
Well, first of all, with pigmentation being currently the biggest concern in South Africa, and to what Dr. Marine said, I think it's before you even start applying your makeup, know what type of pigmentation you have, because post-inflammatory pigmentation, which is more than likely also from scarring or pigmentation from acne and breakouts, that you can also start using more of a corrective makeup. So you can start looking at something like a light peach or burnt orange color corrector to put on that pigmentation first. Because the thing that we tend to do too wrong is, while we're busy treating it, we want to put this big mask on and just hide our pigmentation. And the problem is, the more foundation you put on, actually it's just going to accentuate that pigmentation even more. So to answer your question, choose something that's a bit more lightweight and try and use something that contains, as we spoke about before, skin benefits. So something with a vitamin B3 like niacinamide that can help the skin while it's repairing and healing it, calming it down. And then use color correctors and concealers. And instead of piling on heavy foundations, start light and try and build from it first.
And while you're covering it, Dr. Maureen, I think the goal is always to have, to wear less foundation so that you have less to cover.
Absolutely.
But what are the treatments available to us to get rid of this pigmentation, all the different kinds of
Okay, so
treatments?
for melasma, we have to treat the red and the brown pigment. So there we can do maybe one limelight to get rid of that superficial pigmentation. But that can only be done in lighter skin types. And that's where our new pico laser comes in, which treats epidermal and deep dermal pigment that just sits there, because it doesn't exfoliate. And it makes a big, a cell comes and engulfs this pigment, and the natural immune system can't get rid of it. So the pico laser produces no heat, it travels at the speed of light, and it shatters that deep pigment into a million pieces, and then your white cells can actually carry it away. So that would be melasma, and then it also repairs that basement membrane between the epidermis and the dermis. And then the other, like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, that can fade with time, but it takes a long time, and people don't want to wait 8 months to a year. And there we can do peels, we can do topical products, we can even do an IPL treatment that, lightens that pigment, but once again in lower skin types. And then the other pigmentation is the sunspots. And that, believe it or not, are the easiest to treat. You prep the skin, you do an IPL treatment like our Limelight, and it lifts up all that pigment.
I love IPL and facial
Yeah,
peels.
but you just got to be careful with melasma. You cannot keep pounding that skin with IPL because you're causing its heat, and the heat triggers the melasma cells because it's driven by hormones. And then you might find that it looks great for the first few months, and then you get rebound pigmentation. As the body, those pigment factories slowly start making.
And I imagine this, I mean, Suzanne, we see now that we've really got that trend coming through where you want to show your own skin. So we see foundations are becoming lighter, dewier, lighter coverage.
And also remember, another pigmentation is genetics, freckles. And sometimes even
It's quite trendy.
Yeah, it's quite trendy. So in fact, I've worked on people who had freckles, and the immediate thing you want to do is, I need to cover it up. And they'll be like, no, I love my freckles.
That is you.
I want to see it. It looks sun-kissed, it's beautiful. So absolutely, something lightweight like a serum that in fact only evens out your undertone. And in South Africa, we have so many vibrant undertones. It's not just about the color of your skin. And in fact, it's selecting a foundation that suits the undertone of your skin to complement that beautiful color.
So the blurring thing comes when you have freckles, because that means your skin is more vulnerable to the sun and those pigment factories are out of control. And then as you get older, you start getting the age spots, and you don't know what's what. And that's why people normally come in, because they see it's getting worse and it's getting bigger.
So the two kind of start merging. So you have to be even more careful if you have freckles, because then you are prone to pigmentation.
Absolutely.
And certain skin types, I mean, people with very light skin are definitely more prone.
Absolutely. They've got a very low natural SPF compared to a darker skin. They've got an SPF of 3 and the darker skin has an SPF of 14. So there's a big difference. But the darker skin is more prone to post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So they've got to be extra careful when they get acne or they get a trauma or eczema, that they also strict sun avoidance.
Constantly being aware of it, whether I know Catrice has got SPF in its foundations and primers. So it's about, obviously you want to do the laser and the treatments to get rid of it, but first and foremost, try to prevent as much as you can. And then also, what a lot of people I think don't realize is once you treat the pigmentation, it's not gone forever. You have to then continue to cover SPF, use foundation products with.
Absolutely, and especially for melasma, because one bad day in the sun can set you back.
I have pigmentation on my chest. I've done some treatments also at Skin Renewal, and if I just have too much sun, it resurfaces just like that.
You go on holiday,
Yes.
go to the sun, and you're having a lovely beach, you're putting the hat on, and you will, because of the heat, you will, and the reflection, you will come back with pigmentation. So what I suggest, you can also take a supplement that's a natural antioxidant, and there are a few of them around. We have the Pignogenol and the Heliocare, and that raises your level of resistance to the sun, especially for people who can't avoid the sun. You work outdoors, you're playing sport, you swimming. That gives you internal sunscreen.
Antioxidant, did you say?
Yes, powerful antioxidants like Polypodium leucotomus, which is in Heliocare, and then the Pignogenol, which is in the Oval. And that just raises and also mops up the oxidative stress from the sun. And then another important thing is to put vitamin C under your sunscreen, because that acts as a natural shield for the sunscreen, and it mops up the radiation and prevents that oxidative stress, which, it's like free radicals that just destroy the cells and stimulate collagen. So vitamin C is also very important in the morning.
Should we be expecting more from our makeup products, ingredients that are helping us with our pigmentation, antioxidizing?
Always.
I know Catrice is super into that.
Catrice is very into innovation and, in fact, very into regionalization. That's one of our main focuses here and going forward for South African skins. So definitely looking for hybrid products from primers, but just to connect to Dr. Maureen, everything starts with your skin. Proper skincare first, definitely a very good sunscreen. Then we need to complement it with vitamin C, niacinamide, from what you choose, from a color corrector, foundation concealer, and please do not forget a very good setting spray. A setting spray to keep hydrating your skin, and also is something that can complement your skin and protect it with the SPF factor as well. So just keep watching out, because we're really trying to bring the best quality of ingredients for the most concerns to South Africa at the best price. That is our main motto next year.
And also to wash your makeup off as much
Yeah.
as we love it, to give your skin
Absolutely,
time to
yeah.
rest
Wash it
and
off at
recover,
night.
recuperate.
And that's where you can put your active ingredients at night. Now, all your acids, your retinoic acid. And I suggest also putting like ceramides on the top to create a
The
seal.
barrier, yeah.
Yeah, and to, because they're quite harsh on the skin, they strip your barrier. So the ceramides, number one, do protective seal, and they also, help prevent the barrier disruption.
And very important just to highlight that you wear your actives at night. So many people
Yes.
still put their actives on during the day. So for pigmentation treatment, you wear your actives at night. That's when they work best. And also they shouldn't be exposed to the sun.
No.
Um,
And your skin is active at night, it's eliminating, it's breathing, your circulation is heightened. It just
And
makes more
remember,
sense.
when you're using these, glycolic acid and salicylic acid, it does take that top horny layer off the skin. So you are more vulnerable to, to sun damage. And that's why you cannot just go in and have a peel without prepping your skin, without down-regulating those enzymes that cause pigment, without preparing your barrier. Because most of these skin conditions, like melasma, come with impaired barrier. So it's very important for 2 weeks to prep your skin properly and then go for your peel. Don't just go for a peel,
oh, really?
because then you might find you land up with more pigmentation because that top layer is a glass
Do
layer.
you teach this at Skin Renewal to,
No, we
to
don't
prep
know.
your skin for
No
2
one
weeks?
has a treatment without seeing a doctor first, without getting the proper prep products, and then they can come 2 weeks later. And if their skin is really, I think we might even do a prep treatment, which calms the skin down, and then we go on to the stronger treatments. No, it's part of our protocol.
I mean, I remember when we were younger, we would literally fry ourselves in the
Oh my
sun.
gosh.
And now
Anything
we're
from baby
spending all that.
oil.
I
That
sometimes
is
joke when I go on the paddle court, and if the sun is facing me, I'll say to them, okay, well, this is going to cost this match is going to cost me 4,000 rand for all the laser I'm going to have to do afterwards, because you just fry. When I still see people frying themselves in the sun like a rotisserie chicken,
And I see
I think to
these
myself,
Tasha,
you don't know how much pigmentation you're putting on your body now.
patients coming in at 50 and they're full of these precancerous cells, the
I know.
erythroid keratosis. And that's what's great for the skin type 1, 2, 3. You can do one of those ablative fractional lasers like CO2 or a pearl fractional, and that actually improves actinic keratosis because it wipes it out. So that's another great treatment if you skin type 1, 2, 3. And just to get you, so you get like a 30%, 40%, but not again for melasma. You cannot do those treatments. It's too much heat. You're going to cause inflammation and then rebound pigmentation. So only for people who've got severe, like freckles, those people are
and sun
more
damage
severely. They're skin type 1 and they're outdoors all the time.
And I think then just lastly, the importance of protecting your hands.
Or while you're
protecting-
driving.
And while
I
you're
mean,
driving, SPF on your
that's-
hands. We see so often people forget about that in their arms, and pigmentation show up all over your body. I mean, I particularly struggle with it on my chest, also from the car, not protecting myself enough. Even when I use my products, I always finish off my face with my hands, all my active products. Even my primers, Suzanne, I add my primers to the top of my hands.
And then at night, your hand cream should be a treatment cream.
Yes.
To help to minimize
Yeah, so we've got a great treatment, our body renewal cream.
I use my face products on my hands. That's how important they are to me.
Absolutely. I mean,
So they're an extension of your face. You always have your hands,
Moisturizer.
especially in our industry. So my takeaway for that really is that understand your pigmentation, know what kind of pigmentation you have. There are treatments now for all kinds of pigmentation. So really there's help with the pico laser for the deep treatments. There's peels and IPLs. As you say, you shouldn't use that too much. So importantly, really go to the professionals with like Skin Renewal.
What pigmentation you have.
Know what pigmentation you have.
So that you're on the right treatment
Use makeup
program.
products that have SPFs in, that have niacinamides and extra ingredients in to help your skin with that constantly. Primers, skin correctors. correctors, so you don't want to necessarily just, you think that more foundation is going to cover your pigmentation, actually highlights it. So color correctors and primers.
Color correctors for post-inflammatory conditions like post-scarring or post-pigmentation from breakouts and acne. I think that's really important.
And then the number one thing is, yes, you can fix it, but you should rather be preventing it.
Yeah.
And that is all about SPF, layering products, using the correct skincare, staying out of the sun. I mean, for me, when I go on holiday, spray tan, fabulous caftan,
Big
and then
hat.
big hats.
That's
When I
on the
see
French
other
Riviera,
people
yeah.
lying there with their red little bums in the air, I'm like, amateurs.
And I'm the person under the
Wait.
umbrella.
Wait.
You just wait. You'll be visiting Skin Renewal in no time, spending all your extra money, not on holiday, but on laser. So prevention, definitely. SPF, SPF, SPF.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable.
We always say this, but people still just don't do it. It's
They
Yeah,
don't
no.
get
crazy.
it, yeah.
And now that it's in your makeup, it's also easier to add
It's easy to
SPF.
do, and just remember that there is a way to do it. Just see a professional and know
Get the
that
right diagnosis, and then you
Yeah.
can go
And
forward.
educate yourself.
Absolutely.
Consistency. Thank you, ladies.
you're welcome.
And that is it, our conversation on pigmentation. The biggest takeaway, sunscreen is your best friend. Layer your sunscreen with makeup products that have sunscreen in. Know what kind of pigmentation you have and stay out of the sun. Educate yourself. There is help for you, but you can definitely avoid it.